This podcast contains strong language, sexual themes, and explicit content. The following opinions are meant as comedy, dark, horrible comedy, and are intended for a mature audience. If you are easily offended, listening to this podcast could cause anger, spasms, herpes, stroke, an uncontrollable sense of self-righteousness, and angry grammar-fucked emails. Welcome to SchlockTalk. Stay tuned. At the end of the podcast, there's a special trailer produced by the team at SchlockTalk. Thank you.
Gobble, motherfucker.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my god! Estrogen levels peaking. It's like she's in heat.
When are you gonna grow up? Chicks love cars. If you want to get into their pants, you better have a nice car.
She's my hot rod. Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mpg.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of SchlockTalk, the only podcast that is legally obligated to inform you that it is a registered sex offender.
Whoa, wait. Are you saying one of us is a sex offender?
No. It's the actual podcast itself is a sex offender.
Whoa, hold on. Our pictures aren't on the site, are
Wait.
No, it's the actual
What?
podcast.
For
it's
what?
not any of us.
Well, it kind of does violate your ears like a penis is being shoved in there sometimes. So I guess that counts.
So
Hey, listen, SchlockTalk was just peeing in the public park. That's truth.
Ironically enough, yeah. So SchlockTalk was convicted of public indecency in 1996, 2001, and twice in 2012.
Wait. So you're saying there was a 10-year period when the podcast wasn't offensive?
Well, technically that was when it took that 10-year vacation in Southeast Asia.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey guys, this might be kind of a crazy idea, but just for PR purposes, maybe we should change the word schlock. It sounds a little too much like,
Shellac?
Yes.
We're not going to change the name to Little Asian Boy Cock Talk.
Because it's already been taken. We are not getting
I do own that domain.
Sorry, Jim Q. I know we promised. But we'll settle it out in court someday.
Of course, Roger Corman is well known for helping kickstart the careers of Hollywood heavyweights like Jack Nicholson and Francis Ford Coppola. But he also proves the old adage that sometimes you see the same people on the way down that you did on the way up. And heck, even sometimes you run into Happy Days' Aaron Moran. It's not clear at which point Corman decided that there had not been enough movie mashups that combined elements of Forbidden Planet, the worst/greatest aspects of Japanese culture, gymkata, and male facial hair grooming. But what is apparent is that he had a list of C-list stars willing to be horribly mangled on camera for cocaine money, the phone number of HR's substantially less talented cousin J.R. Giger on his speed dial, and about $20 burning a hole in his pocket. Galaxy of Terror has face suckers, spaceships, and evil aliens. Hell, it even has James Cameron as a second unit director, who, if what he claims about his contributions on this movie are true, show he was a drippy, gaping asshole even before he started making blockbuster crud like Titanic and Avatar. The only difference is now he's just a drippy, gaping asshole with a license to print money. It really speaks to just what a shit stain of an all-star cast you've got when it includes Joni Cunningham, Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Freddy Krueger, Laura Palmer's mom, and early 90s late-night premium cable softcore provocateur and Red Shoe Diaries creator Zalman King. You have all those motherfuckers, and your movie's hero is the unremarkable, mustachioed Edward Albert Jr. And let's be clear, Jr.'s only real claim to fame was his dad's role as the patriarch of Green Acres, and that guy was really about like the 17th best thing on that show, right after a pig named Arnold Ziffel, and right before the manure sluice featured prominently on several episodes. Sid fucking Haig, is in Galaxy of Terror and was given a single line of dialogue, but literally flipping Edward Albert Jr. is the ostensible star of Galaxy of Terror.
An all-star cast.
It is. So anyway, Galaxy of Terror starts out with a guy on a spaceship getting killed by someone's brain. What was
he
going
was
on?
like on the spaceship morgue,
Yeah.
and like the body tray is open with like the exposed brain body.
So what was going on here? Did anybody know what the heck was going on?
They wanted to prove there was some brains involved in this movie, so they decided to have a close-up of that shot.
There was no sense going on here. The guy's like frantically working controls that kind of resembled a Moog synthesizer.
I think the whole purpose of that scene was like that was actually a real prop. Like there was a writer who actually wanted to add some intellectual value to this movie, and they're just like, kill him, bam, shot him in the head. It's like now he's a prop. He's part of the opening scene.
Yep.
This is what happens when people try to push free ideas.
Yeah.
It could also be their attempt at a plot. You know, attempt to bring a little bit of a story to it. To be like, oh, why are we going to this whole galaxy of terror? And why is the whole galaxy terrible and just the planet sucks?
Well, and then like the villain in this scene, is it like a ghost in a washing machine?
I have no idea.
There's like this round window with this spectral being in it. Either that or a pair of socks.
I don't remember this part of the movie any more than I remember most of it because I blocked it out. It's pretty crappy. I'm just gonna put that out there. But go ahead.
So the next scene is there's like an old lady and a guy whose face is like glowing hemorrhoid pain.
It's like a cheesy new age crystal.
Yes.
It's like a smashed fruit gusher with like a
with
a burst blood vessel in it.
He's like a shaving nick on an elephant's ass.
And so they're talking about something that's really not clear what the hell they're talking about, and then they play like one of those tabletop video games from the pizza parlor for a little while.
It was one-on-one Pac-Man.
Yeah. The ones that have like RC Cola spill all over the top of them. And so we then switch to the kind of the third scene of the movie, where what's the captain's name? Laura Palmer's mom is the captain of the ship.
Captain Cuntface, man. She was pissed the entire movie. You even mentioned like, oh, we once had an accident. Her face goes fucking blank.
The Hesperus.
PTSD from hell, man.
She has the most backstory of any character, and you can be convinced to like a line of bad shit happened once upon a time. That's about all they put into play there.
She's such a bitch. She's like, ship's gonna take off in 30 seconds, and she doesn't give anybody any warning.
Yeah.
And they're all
like,
scrambling to get in their seatbelts.
She just looks all like crazy sleep deprived, like, and also like she just went through like the worst divorce of her life. I mean, seriously, like the attitude she had when she was trying to land that piece of crap on that planet, crash land that piece of crap. It was like her house. She was losing it, so fuck it, right? I'm not gonna let my husband take this in the divorce.
I'm selling the RV for $1.
So they give Laura Palmer's mom, the captain of the ship, the dog is humping Paul.
That was inevitable.
Yeah, she really likes Paul. They give her, she immediately starts up the ship, and everybody has to scramble not to get killed. And then I noticed something else. I think she's has objectophilia, because she like keeps running her fingers over like the bank of computer keys, and like having like little miniature orgasms. It was very disturbing.
Well, I guess it was pretty good that she wasn't part of the away team, right?
Wow. You call that what? Objectophilia?
It's called objectophilia.
Maybe I should get checked.
Okay. And so they crash land on the planet of Morganthus, and they go to they find the ship where everybody else is. They're ostensibly here to rescue these people, right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, there was a rescue party that was sent down to save some folks.
And so I want to note that the inside of the ship, that the crash ship, has McDonald's breakfast styrofoam takeout trays.
Oh dear God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest insulation you can buy.
And dryer hoses, because that is the future.
This whole ship is made of PVC ducting, spray painted styrofoam boxes. just crap nailed to the wall. It's just utterly
It's like the worst Metroid Prime level ever. And so while they're in the ship, there's like a bug, a giant cockroach that's stalking this blonde rescue team member. He's kind of like a slightly more feminine Mark Hamill.
I want to touch on the crew here for just a minute. There's that one guy's mustache would make Tom Selleck's facial hair jealous.
Yeah, his mustache is pretty awesome. So that's Eddie Albert Jr.
And you got to give the credit to the makeup designer for that. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's full. It's got volume. It bounces when he talks.
It's luxurious.
Not only that, it's
just looking at it
magical. It just entrances you every time you look at it.
I think it has a soul because it almost expresses its emotions sometimes.
It's not quite as Emmanuel Blonde man slut mustache goes.
No,
but it's up there.
Few things are though. Few things are.
Didn't it win an award for this film?
The only award, yes.
And then I heard that it was the only cast member after this to have a career, because that's the mustache that Jamie's wearing on MythBusters. Went on to do good things.
So they go to the ship and the people are being stalked by this giant bug, but then they decide to leave like the most like inept member of the crew like on the ship while they all go back.
The guy that's already having a panic attack.
Yeah, the girly Mark Hamill, Luke Pants Shitter.
All this guy needed was a chin beard and a Great Dane sidekick.
But he was kept company with the creepy cook.
Yeah. And so he gets left on the ship and then is immediately sodomized and eaten by this giant cockroach. And then they all come back to the ship and find him dead, and they can't believe it.
Oh, wow. Maybe we forgot to shoot one of the corpses.
Yeah. And then they blow up his corpse
Clearly,
with a laser gun.
It was a
It
corpse.
wasn't even. You're glossing over an important fact. They walked in, saw it, and was like, "Meh, boom!" It wasn't like, "Are they alive? What's going on?" No,
That was
just
Balon.
body on the ground.
Yeah.
It might be dead. Let's just
Better
fucking
kill it.
Red Shoe. It's Red Poo Diaries, right?
Red Shoe Tires.
Oh, these
Yeah.
goddamn aliens.
Oh,
They're eating
I'm
their dad.
confusing it for that porno that I like.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Red
Wait,
Shoe
you want to know
Diaries.
about men being sodomized by cockroaches?
Not that one.
Okay.
The other one, cockroaches being sodomized by men.
So they're there to rescue these people, but like
That'd
you
be a
said,
Japanese film, right?
Be an Oscar-winning Japanese film.
they
Japanese Oscar-winning film.
Why is your dog so attractive to me?
I don't know.
So after they get done incinerating all of the dead bodies and not bothering to look for clues or trying to determine why all these people are dead, we realize pretty quickly that the morale.
I'm sorry. The
Go ahead,
dog
Paul.
is suckling my elbow.
That's because you don't have your pants open, man.
Yes.
During the making of this podcast, Paul will get fucked and suckled.
So Balon is is Zalman King, played by Zalman King, who made the Red Shoe Diaries show from the early '90s.
See, I always confuse that with
Oh,
the
it's
Red
really
Poo
disturbing.
Diaries. That scat film
Yeah.
where they eat each other's bloody stools.
Oh my God.
I own the Criterion version.
Why are you rubbing your crotch while you say that, Paul? Jesus Christ.
Hey, the
man.
extras on the Criterion are great. Though.
He's getting fucked and suckled and talking about scat. Why would he not be touching his crotch?
The featurette on eating broken glass.
So Balon is Zalman King, and he's the mission leader. And I think there's an implication that him and Joni Cunningham.
See,
Hooked
I
up?
was
Hooked up
directing
at
the
some
dog
point.
to my crotch.
Good, you have those hand signals down.
We're gonna have to get some photographs of this and put them up on the website.
Yeah, I forgot my camera. Sorry.
That's okay.
Blackmail.
So they find a giant space pyramid. Is that right?
I would call it more of a temple.
Cigarettes.
Okay. A temple. Joel's being all serious. Oh, come on. Clearly.
Clearly, it's a space cigarette.
Because a pyramid is just a bunch of bricks built over like a fancy crypt, right? But this is a temple, right? So it had actual like rooms on the inside.
Okay. Fair enough.
I thought it was like a giant space temple.
Yeah. they determine they have to climb this pyramid, and the mission commander Balon, who has a gimpy leg, has to more or less climb a mountain, thanks to the master of outer space.
Master of
So this made me wonder, did retarded children of ancient astronauts build this pyramid?
Well, I thought maybe it was the makers of Red Sea Diary.
Oh my
when
God.
They finally
Red
Actually, we might have this movie to thank for all those Stargate movies.
Yes.
When they finally reach the top of the mountain, what do they find there?
Gold.
A gaping anus where
Santa.
the leader fell in.
Santa Claus.
Yes.
And was eaten by huge penis things with hands.
So the outside of this big hole that they find kind of looks like a vagina, but the inside looks like an anus, right?
That's the best of both worlds, right?
I'm not clear in the difference between the inside of a vagina and the inside of an anus, but I shall take your word on it, being the expert in such
And
things.
yet you've managed to have children, Alan.
The inside.
I think I've seen one of those advertised on Adam and Eve.
You know, one of the things that's interesting is I guess they tried to make the film sound more intelligent by like throwing in kinds of crazy, I don't know, Book of Famous Quotes phrases and stuff. What is Balon saying? He's like, doubt the brother of despair. It's like, seriously. They're going to talk like that in the friggin' future? They're probably going to reference like memes. They're probably all talking contracted text messages. LOL. WTF.
He wants cookie?
So, like, we're going to make this movie quotable. People are never going to forget.
So the ship's commander, Ilvar, that's his name, decides to rappel into this intergalactic birth canal, and immediately has his face eaten by tentacles that come out of the wall, and then he falls into a giant butthole.
Okay, when the tentacles are eating his face, they kind of sound like somebody sucking pudding through his straw.
Yeah, no, it was seriously like a Scooby-Doo cartoon sound effect. Like, they seriously went to like a Foley stage at Nickelodeon, and they're like... Yeah, it's just like...
Actually, they sound recorded my dog sucking on Paul's elbow. And just use that verbatim.
So this whole like mountain climbing mishap kind of makes me believe that Galaxy of Terror might have been the inspiration for Cliffhanger, because that is a movie about mountain climbing too, and it features a giant asshole. Now I wanted to point out that I think that the giant vagina that they climb down into is actually Roger Corman throwing a curveball. Because if there's...
Why?
Oh, this Paul, I feel so bad for Paul. This
The
dog
dog's
loves him so
genitals
much.
were just placed on my head.
Anyway, Roger Corman is throwing us a curveball because clearly the production design theme in this movie is giant buttholes, not giant vaginas. What do you guys think about this?
Well, yeah. It was an ass move to spray paint styrofoam and put it on your your bulkhead, so sure.
And so we start getting a running theme at this point because earlier in the movie, Luke Pants Shitter had talked about not liking bugs, and then gets immediately rape eaten by one.
Like aliens.
And the other girl besides the captain and Joni Cunningham, her name is Damia, and she's the one who saw the commander fall down into the space butthole and die. And she mentions at some point around here that she doesn't like worms for some reason. And,
wow, what inspired that?
Yeah, it's just like random, like providing people with information.
Oh my god, he fell down a hole. Did you know?
I don't like worms.
I'm terrified of franchises. I'll never eat McDonald's. I am such a local lord.
And so Sid Haig is given his one line of dialogue at this point, and he says, "I live and die by the crystals, which are his ninja star pearl glaive things."
Oh, I thought he was talking about meth.
Yeah.
Crystals! Seriously, he looks like a biker that freaking cooks and schleps that shit.
He's like a jihadist Mr. Clean. Anu Akbar! He flings his fucking ninja stars at people.
And so they decide to use these crystals, which are supposed to be unbreakable, to kind of hold this door open so they can get inside of the pyramid.
Let's call it an
Do we know that they're unbreakable? I mean, what gave you that idea?
Because they're made of glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hardest substance.
No one sat down with him and was like, our spaceship has no glass in it.
And so the crystals break when this door opens up, and he has a crying fit in front of everyone.
It's like he just lost a child.
Yeah. And then the crystals reform, and one of them breaks off and burrows into his arm for reasons that are entirely unexplained. I guess
it stands up very comically. Like first it's shattered, and then it's like this backwards, and then it's weird. It's like backwards morphs, half breaking, and then all of a sudden, bing! It's new. And it slightly drops to the ground.
Well,
what the hell? And then it just stands straight up.
Yeah.
If you think about his line though, I live and die.
Oh, see, foreshadowing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your mind
You
blown.
found a nice little golden nugget in this pile of crap.
I think it might have been one of the things James Cameron added to the script.
Listen, just because something happened by accident doesn't mean that it was golden. If you write a shit ton of words on a paper, eventually you'll make a sentence.
So he cuts off his own arm to prevent the crystal, I guess, from killing him. And it falls onto the ground, and it's immediately crawling with maggots for reasons that are, again, entirely left unexplained. And so while Damia...
More foreshadowing.
Yeah. She's helping the Sid Haig character, whose name is Kuhad. One of the maggots begins to grow, and it becomes quickly clear that this giant worm intends on making the sex with her. It rips off her clothes and immediately drenches her voluptuous body in copious amounts of mucus, which is really just its way of saying, I like you.
Even the tentacles, all the tentacles look like dicks.
Yes.
The tentacles are dicks, the hands are dicks, it's just a dick monster.
This was an American production.
Japanese influence right there.
Yeah. A generation of Japanese people suddenly looked up and a light bulb formed over their heads. It was awesome.
I don't know, they just suddenly got that idea. I'm sure there's some crazy ass, comprised 100% of penises Japanese deity or something like that.
Apparently the director, he hired a body double, but according to Wikipedia, she did pretty much everything.
Sure.
He's like, you know what, fuck you, no.
Yeah, I think the saddest part of this whole thing is her being raped by a maggot was actually slightly less painful than the rape to her career that being in this movie caused. That's how sad it is.
And so Roger Corman took full credit for this maggot rape scene idea.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think it's great.
It is the one redeeming feature of this film.
And so the question is this rape more offensive than the one in Entrails of a Beautiful Woman where the monster rapes the what is she, the heroin junkie mafia mole chick?
Well, she was asking for it.
But she was also into it. So it's kind of even more offensive because it's Japan and she's kind of likes it, right?
Well, at the very end of the magazine, the woman, as she dies, gives her last orgasmic moan, which is a bit weird and creepy because at first she's like, no, and then she's like, and then dies. And you're like, oh, that is just kind of confusing.
Can we even treat this as rape, or is it just willing sex at that point in time?
So
sensual maggot rape.
I think the maggot rape is slightly more offensive because there's just so much more secretion involved.
Yes.
It's definitely more shinier.
Had the maggot had a toothy penis.
Yes.
Yes, it was like the Kids' Choice Awards. There was goo everywhere.
At some point during the rape, did she say, I don't know? So we now go back to the ship where Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, Laura Palmer's mom, and Mr. Hand are all kind of hanging out, and the captain starts to have a hallucination that she's back on the Hesperus, right?
Yes, her backstory once again being brought up.
Yeah.
Deep and involved backstory.
And yet another close-up of her eyes.
So boring.
And by deep involved, you mean hinted to and no fucking clue.
Has no bearing on anything except the fact that she looks like a withered cunt who's batshit insane already.
Yeah.
Occasionally someone will go, you mean the Hesperus? And she'll go, yeah, I said,
Yeah.
And then it's just a close up of her face as she goes through these emotions of pain.
Yeah.
You just feel your dick wither when you see her face come onto the screen. That's the greatest special effect they have so far.
And so the Mr. Hand knocks out Freddy Krueger with some karate moves, right? Again, there's no explanation for this whatsoever. And so the captain, convinced she's back on the Hesperus, runs into what is apparently the ship's face-burning compartment. Because
oh God, why did we put this in here? It makes no sense.
That's where they kept the Ark of the Covenant.
And so, and I assume it's the face-burning compartment because her face gets burned off. And I'm just going to put this out there. She looks better like this.
Took
Yes.
years off that ugly old plastic surgery.
Yes.
Laser peel.
Yes, even post-Nazi Spielberg, she looked better that way.
So, back on the space rape pyramid, Joni Cunningham and Son of Greenacres find the maggot rape victim, and they immediately incinerate her body with a No, they should have. They should have, but they incinerate her body as well.
That's the extended cut, Joker.
And so at this point, the people in the crew are being quickly whittled down, and so all we have left at this point are Joni Cunningham, Freddy Krueger, Red Shoe Diaries, Son of Greenacres, and then the cook, Mr. Hand. We don't know where he is, but he had punched Freddy, who then woke up and made his way to the space rape pyramid.
Mr. Hand, that was the old guy from The Stand, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the old guy from
old
The Stand.
guy in like 300 different films.
No, he's like eternally 60 or some crap like that.
He hasn't aged in 500 years.
Sadly, when he stopped aging, it was still at the old geezer level.
So while they're wandering around inside the pyramid together, Red Shoe Diaries, Balon, gets separated from the rest of the group when Greenacres fails to adequately open this door with like a vagina. There's like a vagina he's supposed to stick his hand in. Did you guys catch this?
Oh yeah, because it opened. Yeah, I remember the rock vagina.
Yeah. He has to stick his hand in the vagina-activated door device. And based on this guy's mustache, I have a feeling this guy has failed to properly activate a few vaginas in his time.
Well, it's just like my TV, right? If I can't turn it off, I just smack it really hard.
Failed to activate, but he at least pressed the button as many fucking times as he wanted to.
So Red Shoe Diaries has not mentioned anything about what he's scared of, but he gets stalked by like a giant alien monster. And despite blowing up every dead body he has found up to this point in the movie, he fails to shoot the monster with the gun he has pointed at.
I was quite disappointed with that, actually.
It's because it wasn't dead
yet.
Yeah.
God,
it's still moving. I can't.
Things that aren't dead are so hard to freaking hit.
I know. The second time I watched it, I found myself screaming, "Shoot him, you bastard!" But now,
I do. I did.
So
it's still alive. I'm not sure.
Living, dead. Shoot! Something's going on. Something's going on here. Why isn't it dying yet?
So the hideous demon kills him, and he's out of the picture now. And everyone else gets separated inside the maze. And at one point, Freddy Krueger says something like, "I keep seeing something and then nothing." And I'm pretty sure he's just describing blinking.
If someone keeps turning the lights on and on.
And so, it's not explained, but Freddy is being stalked by himself. His own worst fear is himself. And does he get stabbed by himself? Is that what happens? I did not make a note of how Freddy dies.
He doesn't die. He doesn't die there. He goes on to the other room where the other guy walks up the stairs, but we never see him die.
Oh wow!
He gets slaughtered with the rest of the people in the unknown way.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, remember later on in the film.
Die there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I put some of those.
He runs away all creepy Freddy Krueger like.
Yeah.
After he gets slashed, because the guy was like, "Haha, I got your knife," and then
okay.
He gets slashed and then he runs off.
This was the part of the movie that Alan apparently really watched closely.
I love that part. It's just so weird.
And so at one point we learned that Joni Cunningham is claustrophobic, and she slides down a giant colon, keeping with the theme of this movie, and she winds up with another callback to Japanese culture into a tentacle crushing machine.
Because her fear is colons.
Colons and being crushed. And these tentacles squeeze the fucking chachi right out of this bitch.
I think it would be great to take the footage of her face being like smashed in by the tentacles, and then edit it like right after Fonzie jumps the shark. Episode of Happy Days.
Yeah, we need to get Scott Baio in on that as well somehow.
Take a scene from Zapped.
And so you guys, I might have left something out, but so really the only person left now is Mustache Man, son of Green Acres, and we find out that Mr. Hand is the master of outer space, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he brought them to the space rape pyramid for a test to see who will be the next master. And so I just want to say this guy's now my least favorite Martian.
Who was the next master?
Well, it's Green Acres. Yeah, and so he flips around like a motherfucker and becomes the new master, and that's the end of the movie.
He confronts all the dead crew members. He shoots them, punches them, and stuff. He's sent to the freaking final mirror match in Mortal Kombat or some crap where he's got to freaking fight every Shang Tsung whatever character that's ever freaking died. And then he finally makes it through the test, and Master Hemorrhoid of Space is just sitting there, crisscross applesauce, in the very center and very tippy top of the pyramid, and he kills the Master by photon torpedo jizzing on him. Just watch that scene. Watch it at the very end. Spoiler alert. That's how the battle is won.
Obviously, Joel's favorite scene.
Oh, and to be fair, that was Sulu's favorite weapon on the Enterprise as well.
Yes.
Well. Oh my. I love that man.
And so that's the end of Galaxy of Terror. What'd you guys think? Would you guys watch this again?
I did watch it again. I watched it 3 times because I needed to get screenshots
It's
for
pretty
the
great,
website.
Right? I mean, it's pretty great.
Yes, well, this kind of made me not want to actually do anything on the website, but I would recommend this movie to people who don't mind being offended every second.
And who like all-star casts of horrible actors who never went on to do anything else.
And Maggot Rape.
Maggot Rape.
I'll be honest, I wish I could somehow swap out whatever boring crap they're having at the French Film Festival this year for Galaxy of Terror.
I would agree with that 1,000%.
Yes, because you know why? Because I'm sure that no one there is going to be having some French podcast there, the SchlockTalk or whatever, saying how crappy it is. They're probably going to be like, oh, it's so great, They love stuff like that. They eat that shit up.
So this is the cinematic equivalent of Jerry Lewis.
No.
Hey, lady, here's your maggot.
She just got raped by that worm over there. Oh, I hope no worms rape me. I'm all by myself.
I think you mean le worm. So, Paul, you got another fan mail letter today, correct?
Yeah, let me reach into the mailbag here.
Wrong bag, Paul.
That's more of a sack.
Wrong bag.
Oh, here, I found the correct satchel. Okay, here we go. Dear SchlockTalk, this is in regard to Gabe's to his bit last week about the order in which you guys are hung. I think Gabe should go last so he can watch the others die. Signed, a fan. I think this person misunderstood your joke there.
I think I misunderstood what's going on.
Well, I was going to be hung for being a horse thief.
Is that how that's saying? Have I been saying that saying wrong all these years?
Hung like a horse thief.
Well, but that's ended my vocabulary now.
That is awesome. Okay, so we'll finish up tonight. I've got the... Hold on. Paul has to recover. He's a little bit older than the rest of us. It takes a little bit longer for him
He's a little juvenile. You get the joke, Paul?
Like, instead of you having a huge dick, you're getting killed.
Oh, I get it.
And you like little kids. So tonight's Wild Pitch is based on a scene from the movie I was inspired by from Galaxy of Terror. So here's tonight's movie, Wild Pitch. By the time Freddy realizes he's been neglecting his wife Joanna, it's already too late. Spending his long work nights diligently killing adolescents in their dreams, he comes home to find that Joanna doesn't care about his big promotion at the isolated, nightmarish industrial park, and she walks out the door, leaving Freddy to raise the couple's young son, Billy.
Is this the next Pixar film?
It says Disney written all over it. The stink of Disney.
I will be crying.
In the ensuing months, Freddy and Billy overcome the barriers that have been built between them and become a true father and son. Making French toast, slashing slutty teens, and learning something about each other along the way. Returning after more than a year away to claim custody of the son she'd left, Freddy's ex-wife instigates a contentious custody battle and exploits all the faults Freddy has worked so hard to fix for the sake of the son he has only now become a real father to. As the court drama proceeds, Freddy's child molestation, hideously burned face, and finger knives are all used against him, and it quickly becomes apparent that the family court system has little sympathy for a child-groping serial killers who haunt the nightmares of teens they raped as toddlers.
It's so sad. They never think about the kids.
They don't.
What does Bobby Kruger want? Billy Kruger want?
They really need to fix the justice system.
They do.
Yeah.
As the final judgment is drawn in his ex-wife's favor, and it appears all is lost, a chance encounter with a young Johnny Depp alters the course of all three lives. On their last night together, Freddy enlists Billy's help to dissolve the future box office powerhouse and creepy Tim Burton muse into his bed, and then have him erupt into a geyser of blood onto the ceiling of his bedroom, all of which is witnessed by Joanna, who quickly realizes that she cannot destroy the father-son bond that has blossomed in her absence. In the end, Joanna grants custody of Billy back to Freddy, and it is only then that he realizes that despite all of the murder, haunting, disembowelment, rape, and terror, the hardest job of all is being a dad.
I'm cheering up! Oh my God.
Robert Englund, Meryl Streep, Kruger versus Kruger. So, that's the end of episode 3. I need to remind all the listeners to like us on Facebook, go to our website, SchlockTalk.com, and follow us on Twitter at Talking Schlock. Please. Please.
We need your love.
In a not-too-distant future, a dystopian Earth is on the brink of total destruction. Food is scarce while despair thrives. Can these women find the strength to make it another day? Or will they succumb to their inevitable fate? Join us as we travel the length of humanity. One desire, one cup, 2 girls. A curious thirst.